What is up, everyone? Hope everyone is doing well. This video is not well, obviously. Here's your ASMR sip of a Fit Aid, RX Aid, my bad. So you guys see the title. I don't have a voice still, so this is a good enough voice to get on camera. And I didn't have a good weekend, lost my voice. You can draw conclusions on that, but I wanted to get on and talk about blunt biohacking, talk about how I'm feeling as far as content wise. From the last video, everyone said I was bitching and, needed more context or something. So let's give some more context. So this isn't really anything anger invested at this point. I think Alek is not suitable for me as a coach. I'll just blame myself, right? I'm not, I guess, taking it seriously enough. I did come off a gynecomastia surgery, fat as fuck, depressed as fuck, and now am 232 pounds with abs in the morning in my new house, thanks to my audience, and I've turned it all around, according to the little dweebs in the comment section. It's not happening fast enough. I only wanted to compete if it made sense content-wise. I wanted to compete. I thought that was a good content pivot because people have been waiting for me to shred down forever. I have Andrew throw a picture of me at 265 with my stomach showing. Like I said, I was pretty happy as far as, this is probably the best bulk I could do before doing my first ever show, because if people don't understand, when you do your first ever show, when you reverse out, you kind of never hold fat the same. I originally wanted Vigorous Steve, or I'll have Andrew throw up the screenshot showing Vigorous Steve, agreed to coach me around 2-3 years ago. Obviously, that's when he was still doing coaching, but I decided to pay for a consultation. I believe I gave Steve $500 for his time to politely ask him, to which he politely denied me. I didn't do anything unprofessional as far as contacting Steve to inquire. I paid for his time. He gave me the money back. He's not greedy. So I was pretty bummed because, Steve in my head is like master sensei. There's an age gap, and, he's the guy that I watched before he blew up, and I'm glad he blew up. Completely understand that he's a YouTuber now, and I'm happy for him. I was kind of like, oh man, where should I go with this? Because there's a lot of coaches out there, a lot of cloud coaches out there. I consulted. He doesn't like, when I use his name in video, Andrew. So consulted Granddaddy Master Sigma MPMD, to which, he said to try for Alek. Now, me and Alek have been like personal online friends for an extremely long period of time. Like I'm talking like when my first channel had like fucking 1,000 subs, me and Alek were going back and forth in Facebook groups, and that's not taking anything, away from our friendship. But I thought about that before, deciding to go with him. But as far as like content wise, and like I think Alek deserves the recognition he should have if he would take, his online presence more seriously. I agree with that. I decided to do it. In my head, I manifested like me and Andrew are going to do content as far as like blunt biohacking, and that Alek would be available for content constantly, because that's pretty much what I need. Like the coach can't just coach me. I wanted like a brand building sensation, and having more of like a celebrity coach go through all the little nuances of the prep, as well as build him up next to me and like keep the same coach for a long period of time. This is where, I decided that I didn't want Alek just to be plagued all over my channel, and I didn't also want my editor to work for free for him. So I decided to do the Blunt Biohacking Podcast and have him as a co-host. He kind of just gets the stage. Andrew talks to me behind the scenes like, oh, Alek's so smart, but it's like, talking to like a dry textbook essentially, because Alek is trying to spit the highest level pharmacology biochemistry possible. I can't really comprehend it. The average person really can't comprehend it. It's only the elite gurus or the heavy investors in this, niche market of content that are going to enjoy Alek, unless someone brings him down and puts it in layman's terms. So that's pretty much all I did, right? If you go watch all those podcasts, I don't think in any way, shape, or form I try to stop Alek's shine or nothing. Like I just bring him down to layman's terms, and that was that. So Blunt Biohacking kicked off with a bang. I'm like, boom, this is the pivot I need. Thank God. Current channel is syncing like crazy, and Blunt Biohacking's perfect. Me and my editor Andrew, we invest into Riverside, so I invest into the best podcasting software to get the cleanest, sharpest podcasting audio. We started out with Zoom. I dumped money into the channel and got the Riverside software. So this is where, I start to get pretty annoyed, right? Because I'm in the struggle of literally losing it all. I got it all back. Then once I got all back, I collapsed from mental exhaustion. And this is when the black hole was turning into the star again and exploding out. This is where Alek gets pretty annoying with him. He's the king of Macedonia. What motivation does he really have as far as doing content? He doesn't really give a shit about being famous. But it got to a point where I felt like I was constantly pestering him to get on camera. Andrew can attest and agree with me that there were times where I would wait my whole day to get on camera with him to no avail. There are times where I would be in the gym, stop training, drive home to get on camera with him to no avail. There were so many times where he blew me off for this first 4 or 5 months, where if we just did Andrew, if we did one episode a week, wouldn't we be on Blunt Biohacking 30 at least? Yeah, 30 episodes. And it was frustrating, Basically, me and Andrew ironed out all his technical issues as far as we made him get a microphone. I told him to get a microphone about 50 separate times. Took weeks for him to get a microphone. Then we realized that he's using a MacBook that's worth $600 to encode this audio and video up to the cloud. So basically his laptop was overheating constantly while doing the first Blunt Biohackings, to where my editor had to do around a 2-hour edit to constantly adjust the audio from skipping, to where he manually fixed audio tracks to get this content for you, jumping through tons of hoops. And to throw Alek under the bus again, I voiced that I have this long-term girlfriend. I wanted the girlfriend coached. He agreed. My girlfriend will go through all these hoops to send him $250 of Bitcoin a month to pay as a normal client, to be treated as a normal client. And over the course, it just got less communication as far as the client goes with my girlfriend. I was pretty annoyed about that. I let that slide. I personally didn't want to intervene in my girlfriend's, diet and shit, but I ended up just fully taking it over again, despite my girlfriend using her hard-earned money to think that she was gonna get a more eagle eye coaching experience that I explicitly stated when I decided to ask him to do that. And that was an important thing as far as repairing my relationship at that time. And I personally trained her in the past, and I just didn't want the stress of that time. Thought Alek could do it. This is Alek's specialty. It just seemed put on the back burner. But here's where this is all fine. I know Alek is not an influencer. I understand that, right? I just feel like I jumped through all this shit to pull Alek into the metaverse, and when he started getting sick again, as a friend, I felt bad. As a business partner, as a dude who needs a coach, as a dude who needs content. Oh, you ignore me? You blow me off for so many months, right? So many months I'm running around like a hamster in the United States, trying to line up the perfect time that works for him to get on camera and shoot, while he ducks it constantly. And then he fucking gets sick, which is fine. This is his constant battle. It's very emotional, and overall, I'd rather just be there as a friend for him and not have this festering. I did all this. I built your coaching, got him coaching clients immediately. I got him consultations. I did multiple episodes of Blunt Biohacking. Before that, he was not delivering on anything he said he was going to do. I couldn't even get him to buy a fucking laptop and microphone for the longest time. It was this unattainable Dora the Explorer task where he needed the fucking map and shit to get a goddamn new laptop and microphone. I guess to come to a more finite conclusion, once Alek got all this exposure, once I gassed him to the level I gassed him, he got sick, and it seemed like, the audience was like, Alek, where are you at? To where, he started posting on his Instagram story, it's that I'm not answering. That really bothered me. It hurt me because it's like the amount of shit my editor has done on the clock that I'm paying my editor for, and the amount of shit I personally did as far as getting him in the perfect limelight, painting him exactly how I think he deserves to be painted, for him to, not deliver for so many months, to blow me off for so many months. And now that I made the magic happen, it's like, oh, it's my fault because I'm not picking up the phone when I'm so exhausted with trying to make this happen. I don't understand why that you can't just say a time slot and hit a time slot. And then the other big kicker is that I follow Alek's girlfriend on Instagram. All those months before when we first got started, she's posting direct evidence of him just blatantly fucking ignoring me, and me continuing to push to build his presence, me continuing to use my editor on salary to once again create his content and build him as my coach. Personally, I'm emotionally detached from needing this at this point. Like for me to continue blunt biohacking after this final straw, and the final straw is this. Okay, I'll admit it, Andrew, he fucks up the thumbnails sometimes as far as not looking the most visually aesthetic. There are tons of thumbnails on my channel where my face looks horrible. I don't care. I don't sit here and bitch about that. I don't care. I'm just glad the videos are getting done to the level of polish they're getting done at. That being said, with a guest or a host like Alek, the thumbnail was not acceptable, which is an easy fix. It's a fucking 1 minute fix. Fine, we'll change it. The previous video, I don't know, we were talking about like hair loss or something. The thumbnail made Alek look bad. I honestly was in a personal argument with family members with something else, and I wasn't paying attention to Andrew dropping this video. I didn't check it. I don't have to check Andrew before it drops anymore. I'm over that. I trust him. And overall, the thumbnail wasn't bad. And overall, when you look at the amount of frames to pick from, sure, there's a better frame for that specific thumbnail, but he's just trying to get done. He's trying to clock out. It's his Friday too, and he's just finishing his edit. I'm contacted by all these people of how I did Alek dirty in the thumbnail, how I did it, right? I did it. I guess you guys all go to him, say, oh, he's doing you so dirty, all the birdies in his ear. This guy has never had clout before. He fumigated over this thumbnail, which isn't that big of a deal in my mind at all, for multiple days. This was also when the people who wanted me to pull him into the metaverse or, do your own content, Alek, do your own content, Alek, do your own content, Alek. Once you're done doing Russo's show, come do our show. Me and Alek get on the phone yesterday. Obviously, I'm still recovering my voice. I can't talk that well, and it was a very not good, not well weekend, right? He gets on call, immediately goes to, oh, we can hire a editor in Macedonia, as if I can even get a hold of him in Macedonia. We can hire an editor in Macedonia for much cheaper than Andrew. Like, immediately goes into wanting to facilitate me getting rid of Andrew over a thumbnail. Now, I don't think that's Alek directly. I think that's all the minds that he's not used to weighing in on his life now. But for him to want to fire Andrew when Andrew has fixed all his technical difficulties, has set up his mic audio levels, has edited his videos for hours that personally he fucked up because he used a $500 laptop for so many times, or when he saved corrupted videos, when he put all the videos together as Andrew's learning the job with me, learning how to work with me in general. The amount of shit Andrew has done for Alek for free, for Alek to just want to pull the plug on a thumbnail. You know, I just fucking hung up the phone because I don't need to hear that. On top of not needing to hear that other people want to do content with him as if like I'm holding him exclusively. So I'm just annoyed, right? I did my pawn job of pulling him in the metaverse. I separated his shit from my shit to give him a co-host thing to where he didn't have to do nothing other than show up on camera and spit his giant brain. He didn't do shit other than get on camera. And he knew that this shit was going to release, it was going to be polished, and 90% of the time he was going to be painted in this perfect light to which he was, why he got so many clients, why he got so many consultations. There's one time where there was a thumbnail, and that thumbnail is directly clipped out of that video. Sure, he could have picked a better one, but that clip is still in there, that frame is still in there. That all being said, I've decided to stop Blunt Biohacking. I'm fucking done. I don't give a shit what this comment section looks like at all. I'm fucking done. I've tried for months. Like, when does the hamster stop running in the ball, right? When does the hamster stop running in the ball? And it's like the last video, the video, I'll have Andrew throw it up, where I'm more bitching in that video to my OG fans. I don't give a fuck about you casuals. You can all fucking leave. I don't care. My OG fans that have stuck with me over 4 years can honestly hear what I'm thinking. All you casuals, get out of here. Get out. I don't care. I literally only give a fuck about my OGs. My OGs respect that I am so transparent to what's going on in my personal life. But I'll say, when I release my video bitching to my OGs, people are contacting Alek to have me dropped as a client after all the shit I did. You know, Alek told me to stop being mad at the world, despite contributing to the fucking annoyance of just not doing what he said he was going to do and get on camera, not really taking my GF seriously as a client, even though, you know, I had to help my GF get Bitcoin. I had to help my GF set up a Bitcoin wallet. I had to help my GF tell her how to send the Bitcoin. Then she's nervous about sending the Bitcoin to pay him fairly when I could have asked Alek to do it for free. I'm a man of my word. I paid the money, right? My girlfriend paid the money. We paid the money. Same thing with Vigorous Steve, right? I've been following Steve forever on Instagram, but I did not want to bother Steve. I paid for his time. I gave him a full consult fee. He was generous to give it back. I've been nothing but strictly professional here. And for my audience, well, the casuals of my audience, not my OGs, for the casuals of my audience to go to Alek saying I'm a bitch meister and that my bitching's unwarranted and I should be dropped as a client and I'll never get in shape, when considering I have gotten in shape. I'll have Andrew throw up the short I uploaded of me being at 235, 234 again. I did everything I said I was going to do. I painted Alek. I did the magic. Alek's now a character. I got Alek fucking consultations and clients. Did that. I didn't listen to Alek as far as getting into shape rapidly and looking like shit. I obviously cut down on my own weight because at the end of the day, I'm competing and I want to rebuild my baseline physique and not just fucking starve myself down under 220 when I could rebuild at 230. And I did once again exactly what I said I was gonna do. Oh, I can't be angry. I can't be upset. I just have to be cool with it. So I'm cool with it now. I'm cool with it. I'm done with Blunt Biohacking. I'm done. As far as Alek is, concerned, we are still friends. I hope to see him as the third guy on Bio Bros. I hope to see it. That slot is open. Andrew edited the beef of the last Bio Bros host, so I think that slot is open. And I think based on the chitter chatter after Andrew makes one crappy thumbnail, that is calling his name. And I think that's warranted and justified, that he gets what he deserves. I'll see you guys in my next video.